Welcome to Werks. Today's video is the Bagnell Dam site, the overlook, trail waters, and the overview of the Lake of the Ozarks. In 1912, Ralph W. Street of Kansas City first proposed damming the Osage River to generate electricity. However, it wasn't until 1924 that Street and Walter Cravens, also of Kansas City, arranged financing and formed the Missouri Hydroelectric Power Company. The company began building roads, housing, and an administration building, mess hall, and other facilities needed to support the construction of a dam near the tiny town of Bagnell. However, financial difficulties brought the project to a halt in 1926. On July 27, 1929, Union Electric Company of St. Louis, now known as Ameren, Missouri, purchased the facilities and construction resumed on August 6. The New York Stock Exchange crashed 2 months later, bringing on the Great Depression, but work on the project continued. It became the only major construction project in the nation at the time, attracting thousands of workers from all over the country. Records show more than 20,000 people worked on the project at one time or another. Although there were some steam shovels and other powered equipment, most labor was done by hand. Pay rates for construction workers were as low as 35 cents an hour, but during the Depression era, when a person could be hired for farm work for 50 cents a day, workers were glad to make the hourly wage. The project was truly massive. Nearly 60,000 acres of land had to be acquired, and about 30,000 acres had to be cleared of trees and brush. 1 million cubic yards of earth and rock had to be moved. Enough concrete was poured to build a 18-foot wide highway from St. Louis to Topeka, Kansas. Enough carloads of material were used in the dam to fill a freight train stretching from St. Louis to Tulsa, Oklahoma. Construction was completed 2 years after work began. Commercial operation of the Osage power plant began October 16, 1931. At the time, Bagnell Dam was truly an engineering marvel, and dignitaries from all over the country and the world came to see it. Engineers proudly predicted the amount of electricity the Osage power plant would generate in future years, but no one dreamed of the millions of hours of recreation Lake of the Ozarks would provide for tourists, local residents, and second homeowners. Upgrades to Bagnell Dam will enable it to continue to provide clean energy for the next 100 years. When the plant is operating, water flows from the lake through a large pipe called a penstock, which carries the water to large water wheels called turbines. Each turbine is connected to a generator by a 30-inch diameter steel shaft. A generator is a device in which the type of magnet spins inside a stationary coil of wire. As the pressure of water flowing through the plant turns the turbine turns the magnets inside the generator, producing electricity. In a typical year, the Osage plant produces more than 500 million kilowatts of electricity, enough to supply the needs of 42,000 average households. When excess water flows in the Lake of the Ozarks, such as during times of heavy rainfall, the floodgates are used to pass this excess water downstream. In years past, you could get an idea of the size of the flood by the number of floodgates open. However, this was changed during the process of obtaining a new FERC license for Osage. Beginning about 2007, Ameren agreed to partially open 11 of its 12 floodgates in any flood. This was done to spread the flood flows across a wider area, thus minimizing the number of fish that would be pulled through the gates during a spill event. Ameren, Missouri has an emergency action plan in place in the very unlikely event of a dam failure. In the event of a dam failure, the areas that would be inundated with this excess water would include the Special Flood Hazard Area, floodplain along the Osage River from Bagnell Dam to the Missouri River. This includes Miller, Cole, Osage, and Callaway counties. Thank you for watching Werks, and please like, subscribe, and comment.